I'm not heading for I just want to get it fixed. I don't.
Just a number. It makes it look like I did something right.
I don't know the fuck they think they play with. I don't play no motherfucking games. I'll fuck you up, motherfucker. I'll fuck you up. I don't play no motherfucking games. Let's go. Watch out, guys. Watch out.
When boxing's past and present suddenly cross paths, it isn't always inside a packed arena. Sometimes it happens in the middle of Dubai International Airport. And what followed was pure chaos. Terence "Bud" Crawford and Floyd "Money" Mayweather, two legends from different eras, unexpectedly ran into each other, and according to circulating footage, things got heated fast. Instead of greetings or mutual respect, Crawford appeared to throw a punch. Yes, Bud reportedly took a swing at Floyd right there in the airport, and the clip has already set the boxing community on fire. But this wasn't just some random flare-up. The moment connects to the buzz around Floyd's potential return to real competition, his upcoming showdown with Mike Tyson, and the never-ending debate about who truly stands as the greatest of all time, Crawford or Mayweather.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
So let's break the whole situation down, how the confrontation even started, why some people think Floyd might have sparked the tension, how Canelo's name keeps getting pulled into the conversation, and why all of this could be building toward one of the biggest matchups modern boxing has ever seen.
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. Oh, yes. That makes a difference to people.
According to people who claimed to be there, the tension kicked in right away. Floyd Mayweather was making his way through the VIP area of Dubai Airport with his usual crew around him. Terence Crawford, who's been all over the headlines ever since his talked-about win over Canelo Alvarez, happened to be in the same section at the same time. What started as tense looks quickly turned into exchanged words. Floyd gave one of his signature smirks and, according to those nearby, brushed off Crawford's win over Canelo as nothing special. Bud, never known for staying quiet, fired right back. Both entourages closed in, security rushed over, but the arguing didn't slow down. And then things escalated. Witnesses claim Bud let his fist speak and connected on Floyd. Phones came out instantly, fans started yelling, and within minutes, supposed clips of the moment were spreading everywhere online. The airport scene erupted into complete chaos as both groups shouted, clashed, and were eventually pulled apart by security before it all spiraled even further.
Let it go.
It was more than just a scuffle. It felt symbolic, because this wasn't simply two fighters crossing paths at the wrong moment. This was about pride, legacy, and the ongoing battle over who truly sits on the throne of boxing greatness.
I was excited to see Bud perform the way he performed against Canelo. I think boxing needed that fight. I think Bud showed up in the way he was supposed to. I think Canelo did as well, and the respect between the two men is what boxing is supposed to be. I can't talk about all the eras of boxing because I haven't seen them all, but I've seen Hagler Hearns. I've seen Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. Like I've seen all of those things, and those fights were wars. Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer I've ever seen. He's the most skilled boxer I've ever seen. Bud, and this is just my opinion, is the baddest man I've seen wear boxing gloves. And here's why I say that.
RC.
Here's why I say that. Bud is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it, right? The best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough, Floyd's not a bad man, but there was domination inside that ring we saw this weekend. And there's no fear in him in the way that he's attacked gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years, but no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that, and Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their eras equally.
Hold up, limitless, niggas to me cap pinning it. I fought the head to witness it.
So why did Bud react the way he did? Was it simply about respect, or feeling like he wasn't getting any? For years, many fans have felt that Floyd carries himself as if no one from the next generation belongs in the same conversation. Whenever people brought up how Crawford might fare against him, Floyd often shrugged off the comparisons. He's long referred to himself as the best ever, and in the eyes of some observers, seemed to downplay Crawford in the process.
You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying...
But then Bud stunned the boxing world in a way few saw coming, taking a win over Canelo Alvarez that many thought was out of reach. That matchup wasn't treated like just another upset, it felt like history being rewritten. And suddenly, the pound-for-pound conversation shifted. It wasn't only about who's number one right now. The new question became, could Terence Crawford actually stand above Floyd Mayweather at his peak?
Will a win over Canelo put you ahead of Mayweather as the greatest boxer of this generation?
Listen, I leave the opinions to everybody else, but like I said, after this fight, when I defeat Canelo, I'm gonna be on Mount Rushmore. That's where I'm gonna be.
And then came the twist. Canelo, who has faced both Floyd and Crawford, publicly shared the opinion that Crawford might be the better fighter. That hit Floyd hard, because one of his most celebrated victories was his masterclass performance against a young Canelo, a fight he long referred to as easy work. Now that same Canelo was giving major credit to Bud, and for Floyd, that was a lot to take in.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
So when the two finally ended up face to face, it wasn't really about a few comments. It was the weight of years of pride and rivalry crashing into each other all at once.
I feel like we done seen Crawford on his, have his best performance that he has ever had, versus Canelo. So it's like, whenever you try to compare Floyd's performance versus Crawford's performance, me personally, I believe that Crawford did a lot more. But if they both were to fight each other, if you would have put Floyd in his prime versus Crawford in his prime, who would y'all pick? For me personally, it would be so hard because I feel like they fight very similar, but very...
Here's where things get even more layered. Just days before the airport situation, Floyd Mayweather grabbed attention in an interview by suggesting he might be thinking about a real professional return. No more exhibitions, no casual paydays, he hinted at stepping back into the official ranks. And the name he supposedly has in mind? Terence Crawford. The matchup fits the narrative perfectly, Crawford representing this generation, Floyd representing the last. The star of today against the icon of yesterday. And if Floyd wants to show that his legacy still stands above everyone else's, there isn't a bigger showdown he could aim for.
Oh, yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh, shit, okay, I'm just asking.
Man.
Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight, though.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
And let's be honest, Floyd isn't naive. He understands how massive this matchup would be. For Bud, the stakes are huge. If he wins, some critics will claim Floyd was simply too old. But if he loses, it could damage his legacy because people will say Crawford couldn't get past a 47-year-old Mayweather. For Floyd, the risk is far smaller. If he comes up short, most fans will point out that he was well beyond his prime. But if he somehow manages to beat Bud, it would go down as one of the most shocking and defining statements in modern boxing.
Looking back at like Floyd's career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight, and that's what led him to be so great. You know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions. You know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy, back to back to fight, one after one.
Before Floyd can even think about a clash with Crawford, he has another massive challenge in front of him, Mike Tyson. That's right, Floyd's next planned appearance is an exhibition bout against Iron Mike Tyson.
A fight that fans will watch for sure is you and Mike Tyson. How's training going, Floyd? Talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
You know, the fight is in 2026. We still, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and like, hey, this is not, we're going to have fun, we're going to throw a few punches, like I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to Mike Tyson?
I don't know. I just want to give the fans what they want to see, excitement. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be an exciting event.
And on paper, this matchup is meant to be pure entertainment. Tyson is deep into his 50s, while Floyd has stayed active and looks sharp. On the surface, logic suggests Floyd should have the easier path.
Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather is happening. What the f is going on? This is where boxing is in 2025. And listen, I'm not going to complain because I understand the layout of things. We already had Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We have Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. This feels like the Temu version of it. And that sounds crazy because we have two of the greatest of all time about to participate in this, but both of them are about 30 years past their sell-by date in an exhibition bout in which their weights will be 60 to 70 to 80 pounds different. If you got on board with Jake and Mike, it was because at least they were going to weigh the same. I don't even know what to think. Someone on Twitter said it perfectly. Either everybody in the world is going to want to watch this or 10,000 people will watch it. Probably both men want a shit ton of money and they're being promised a shit ton of money, but it's happening.
But the danger is obvious. One clean Tyson shot can flip the whole script. If Floyd were to get caught and stopped, even in an exhibition setting, the Crawford fight could lose all momentum. Bud wouldn't be interested in facing someone coming off a loss to a nearly 60-year-old Tyson. Fans wouldn't push for it, promoters wouldn't see the same value, and the aura that surrounds Floyd's name would take a major hit.
It was recently said that you're going to be fighting Floyd Mayweather. Why the hell did he agree to fight you? That seems like a bad decision by him.
Well, listen, I was minding my business. I'm flying my birds, tending to my children, and he's the one. He came with the sign. His name was on the contract signed already, and he was talking really bad and nasty to me. And so, I was like, God damn! I thought we were friendly, talking crazy. He's all right.
That's got to be such a cool thing for boxing fans, though, Mike, to have two of the all-time legends in there. Are you excited just to see the thing of that, like it was with you and Roy?
Nah, man, we want to get him, man. What are you talking about? Stop talking crazy. Like, kick his ass.
He doesn't know what he signed up for.
Yeah, I thought the exhibition. He's talking crazy.
So he's like, this is, but Mike, come on, man. He can't be doing anything to you. Like, that's a bad decision by him.
Hey, he made a good money choice, though.
That's why this Tyson matchup is far more dangerous than it seems. It's not really about Floyd taking damage, it's about his entire comeback storyline potentially collapsing. And here's another angle. Crawford doesn't even need this fight anymore after the Canelo win. Bud's legacy is already viewed as established. Many fans and analysts now consider him among the all-time greats. His resume is stacked. He chased greatness, climbed divisions, and took down one of the biggest stars in the sport.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terence Bud Crawford.
He could walk away right now, hang up the gloves, and still go down as the fighter who stunned the world and overcame every mountain put in front of him.
Saw you before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
Facing Floyd is more of a financial move than a legacy move. Because even if Crawford comes out on top, people will still argue that it wasn't a version of Floyd in his prime. That prime versus prime debate will never disappear. That's why some insiders are suggesting Bud should simply pass on Floyd's challenge. In their view, he has nothing left to prove.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's part.
But let's be honest, if this fight actually takes place, it carries real danger for Crawford. Not in terms of physical risk, but in how it could impact the story of his legacy.
A lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in the fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who would win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd would win that fight.
Yes, sir.
Floyd
I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah, he's a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in that
The
shit
funny
is
thing
crazy.
about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else? Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
got a pioneer, right? Yeah, you got it.
There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere. And I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure out.
Beating an almost 50-year-old Floyd won't silence the doubters, but taking a loss could be brutal. Bud could go from the sport's top figure to the fighter who was caught off guard by a retired icon. For Floyd, there isn't much risk, his legacy is already cemented. For Bud, though, everything feels on the line because the spotlight is locked onto him. And that's why the airport incident came across as much more than just a heated exchange.
You could take a guy like Canelo, this guy could do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk, easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
It felt like the first domino in a much larger chess match. So here's the picture. At Dubai Airport, Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather finally crossed paths, things escalated, and Bud was seen throwing a punch. The internet went wild instantly. And just like that, the debate over who truly stands as the greatest boxer of all time is buzzing louder than ever.
Floyd versus Triple G. Listen, man. Floyd didn't fight him, and Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same thing, except for Floyd fought a few times at 154. I'm not faulting Floyd for not fighting Triple G. I totally get it. I'm just saying that upper echelon, the reason why I will always have Sugar Ray Leonard over Floyd is the crazy, the insane part of it. What Terence Crawford is talking about doing, He ain't saying, let me meet Canelo at a catchweight. Canelo's undisputed there. Let me go get him.
This isn't really about a single punch. It's tied to Floyd hinting at a full pro return, the risk surrounding his upcoming Tyson exhibition, Crawford's rising place in boxing history after the Canelo win, and the moment when two eras of the sport finally collided.
Have you thought about going for 51-0, beating Mayweather's record with 50-0? Is that something that you thought about?
I already said I wasn't never gonna beat Mayweather record. That's not something that I wanted to do.
Okay.
To be honest, I was gonna retire if I didn't get this Errol Spence fight.
So that wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss what's coming next. And don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.